Hey everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Flow. I'm Emily, and I'm so glad to have you here today. We've got an exciting topic lined up for you.
And I'm Max. Today's episode is all about how to speak English confidently by practicing daily life conversations. If you've ever felt nervous about speaking English or wondered how to start conversations in English, then you're in the right place. We're going to give you tips and real-life examples that will make speaking English feel a lot easier.
Exactly, Max. Confidence is something we all struggle with at some point when learning a language. The good news is confidence comes with practice, and that's what today is all about, helping you feel more comfortable speaking English no matter where you are or who you're talking to.
Right. A lot of English learners feel shy or anxious when they have to speak because they worry about making mistakes. I think we've all been there. You might wonder, what if I say something wrong? What if I sound silly? But the truth is, everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. It's part of the learning process.
That's so true, Max. And guess what? Mistakes are normal and okay. It's all about focusing on communication, not perfection. So today, we're going to practice conversations that are easy, natural, and useful in real life. Things like introducing yourself, ordering food at a cafe, and asking for help.
Exactly. And if you can get comfortable with basic conversations, you'll build your confidence more quickly. Once you've practiced these simple everyday conversations, you'll find it's much easier to speak in any situation. Whether you're talking to friends, ordering food, or meeting someone new, you'll be ready.
So let's start by talking about why we feel shy when speaking English. There are a few reasons why we might feel nervous. First, it's natural to feel self-conscious about making mistakes, especially if we're not sure if our pronunciation is correct or if we're using the right grammar.
That's right. Another reason is that we might worry about not being understood. You might feel that people won't understand your accent or the words you're saying. But here's the secret. English is about communication, not perfection. If the other person can understand you, you're doing great.
Yes, and don't forget the most important part, confidence. The more you speak, the easier it gets. The key is to start speaking and keep practicing. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll feel. And guess what? The mistakes will become less frequent as you get better.
Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to practice simple conversations that you'll encounter in everyday life. By the end of this episode, you'll feel more confident starting conversations in English. Let's start with one of the most basic situations, introducing yourself.
That's right. Introducing yourself is the easiest way to start a conversation, and it happens all the time. You'll introduce yourself when you meet new people, when you start a new job, or when you're in a social setting.
Exactly. When you introduce yourself, the first thing you'll say is, "Hi, my name's Max." It's simple and it lets the other person know who you are. You can also say, "I'm Max," which is just as friendly.
And if you want to keep the conversation going, you can add something like, "Nice to meet you," or "It's great to meet you." These are polite, easy ways to start a conversation.
And of course, don't forget to ask about the other person. After you say your name, ask them, "What's your name?" or "And you?" This keeps the conversation flowing. So let's practice that now. I'll be the person meeting you, Emily, and you can introduce yourself. Ready?
Ready?
Hi, my name's Max. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Max. I'm Emily. It's great to meet you too.
So, tell me a little about yourself. What do you like to do?
Well, I love hiking and spending time with my family. How about you?
I enjoy reading books and playing sports. That's a great way to get to know someone.
Exactly. And look, we didn't need to worry about making everything perfect. We just focused on being polite, using simple phrases, and asking a few questions to keep the conversation going. That's how natural conversations happen.
Right. So let's break down the vocabulary we used. We started with, "Hi, my name is." This is a standard, polite way to introduce yourself. You can also say "I'm" instead of "my name is." Both are friendly and common ways to introduce yourself.
Yes, and we also used "nice to meet you." This is something you say when you're meeting someone for the first time. It's a warm, polite way to start a conversation. You can also say "it's great to meet you" or "pleased to meet you."
And don't forget, what do you like to do? This is a great question to ask to get to know someone better. You could also ask, what are your hobbies? Or what's your favorite thing to do? These are simple questions, but they help you learn more about the other person.
Right. So now that we've practiced some basic greetings and introductions, let's move on to another common situation. Ordering food at a restaurant. This is something most people will do in English at some point, and it's a great way to practice.
Exactly. Ordering food can feel a little intimidating at first, especially if you're not sure how to ask for what you want. But it's actually pretty easy. Let's walk through it. I'll be the server and you can be the customer. Ready?
Ready.
Hi there. What can I get for you today?
Hi, I'd like the grilled chicken with a side of vegetables, please.
Sure. Would you like anything to drink with that?
Yes, could I have a glass of water?
Absolutely. Would you like anything else?
No, that will be all. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bring that out for you shortly.
And that's a simple way to order food. Notice how we used polite phrases like I'd like and could I have. These are excellent ways to ask for something clearly and politely.
Exactly. And you can also ask, what do you recommend or what's the special today? These are great questions to ask if you're not sure what to order. They'll help you sound more natural in any restaurant setting.
Absolutely. Now that we've covered some basic restaurant vocabulary, let's practice some Q&A again. I'll ask you a few questions about ordering food and you can answer out loud, just like we did before. Ready, Max?
Ready.
When you go to a restaurant, do you prefer to order a drink with your meal or just water?
I usually go for water because it's simple and refreshing, but sometimes I'll have soda if I'm in the mood. How about you?
I usually stick with water. It's easy and healthy. Now it's your turn, listeners. Do you prefer to order a drink with your meal or just water? Say it out loud.
Great job, everyone. You're doing amazing. Now let's finish off with some shadowing practice. Ready to practice some more sentences, Emily?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Welcome back to part 2 of today's episode. By now, you've learned how to start a conversation and order food confidently. But there are so many other daily life situations where you need to speak English with confidence. Let's focus on a few more of those situations today and help you feel even more comfortable using English in real life.
Exactly, Emily. If you want to speak English confidently, you need to practice it in situations that you encounter every day. Whether you're talking to a friend, asking for help, or even giving directions, it's important to have the right words and phrases ready. So let's start with asking for directions. This is something that can feel a little intimidating if you're in an unfamiliar place, but it's actually a great way to practice speaking English.
Absolutely. Asking for directions can be tricky because it involves speaking to strangers and sometimes following detailed instructions. But once you know the right phrases, you'll feel much more confident doing it. Let's imagine we're in a city and you need to ask me where the nearest bus stop is. I'll play the role of a local giving directions.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Hi there. Can I help you with anything today?
Hi, yes, I'm looking for the nearest bus stop. Can you tell me where it is?
Of course. The bus stop is just down the street on the left. It's right next to the grocery store. You can't miss it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
And that's how simple it is to ask for directions. Notice how I use the phrase, can you tell me where, which is a polite and clear way to ask for help. You can also use where is or how do I get to. These are easy questions that will help you understand exactly where to go.
Right. And when you give directions, it's helpful to say things like, it's just down the street, or it's next to. These are clear ways to explain where something is. It's all about being simple and direct. And remember, it's totally okay to ask the person to repeat something if you don't understand. You can say, sorry, could you repeat that? Or, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
Exactly. Asking for clarification is completely normal and it will help you feel more confident. Now, let's practice some vocabulary from this conversation. First, we use the phrase bus stop. A bus stop is a place where buses pick up and drop off passengers. It's very common to ask for directions to a bus stop when you're traveling.
We also use the phrase down the street, which means a short distance from where you are. It's a great way to explain that something is nearby. You could also say, it's just around the corner, or it's a short walk from here. all simple ways to give directions.
And don't forget the phrase on the left. This is very useful when giving directions. If you want to tell someone which side of the street to look on, you can say it's on the left or it's on the right.
Great! Now that we've covered asking for directions, let's move on to another common situation: shopping. Going to a store and asking for help can be a little intimidating, especially if you're not sure how to express what you're looking for. But once you know the right phrases, it's easy.
Definitely. Let's imagine we're at a clothing store and you need to ask me where to find a particular item, like a jacket. I'll play the role of the store employee.
Sounds good. Let's practice.
Hi, can I help you find something today?
Hi. Yes, I'm looking for a jacket. Do you have any jackets here?
Yes, we do. The jackets are in the back of the store near the men's section. You'll see them hanging on the right side.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need any other help.
And that's a simple way to ask for help in a store. Notice how I use the phrase, do you have? This is a great way to ask if a store has a particular item. You can also say, where can I find? Or I'm looking for...
Exactly. And when you're telling someone where to find something, you can say it's in the back of the store or it's near the... These are easy ways to give directions inside a store.
Exactly. And if you're not sure where something is, you can always ask, can you show me where it is? It's a polite and clear way to ask for help, and people will be happy to assist you.
Let's go over some vocabulary from this conversation. First, we talked about a jacket. A jacket is a type of coat that you wear to keep warm, especially in the cooler months. There are many different types, like leather jackets, winter jackets, or rain jackets.
We also mentioned the back of the store. This is a common way to explain where things are inside a store. You could also use words like front or middle to explain other locations.
And don't forget the phrase near the men's section. When giving directions inside a store, it's helpful to mention landmarks like sections, for example, near the women's section or near the checkout.
Great job! Now that we've covered asking for directions, let's move on to our next practice: shopping for groceries. This is another situation where you'll need to ask for help sometimes. Let's imagine you're at a grocery store and need to ask me where the bread is.
Perfect. Let's go.
Hi, could you tell me where the bread is?
Of course, the bread is in aisle 3, right next to the dairy section.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need anything else.
And again, we used the phrase, could you tell me where? This is an easy, polite way to ask for help in a store. You can also use, where can I find, if you're looking for something.
Right, and don't forget to use the aisle numbers when giving directions in a store. For example, you can say it's in aisle 3 or it's in aisle 5 near the fruit section.
Exactly. And this is a great time to practice those everyday phrases in real situations. The more you practice asking for help, the more confident you'll feel. Welcome back to part 3. You've been doing an amazing job practicing English in everyday situations. Now, let's wrap things up by focusing on building long-term confidence when speaking English.
That's right. In part 1, we worked on introductions and ordering food. In part 2, we focused on asking for directions and getting help in stores. By now, you're building your confidence in speaking English in real-life situations.
Absolutely. And remember, confidence comes with practice. The more you practice speaking English, the more natural it will feel. And don't worry about mistakes. You're improving every time you speak.
Exactly. So keep practicing these conversations in everyday situations. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. Keep speaking, keep using new phrases, and soon English will feel easy.